close sales, 5 5. I might add one more, maybe six, or two more, maybe make it seven. But you get to the point. There's something over the weekend. I was at a startup event, and I realized that most of the people that actually win this competition, this pitch competition, they're not their product might not be like something extraordinary, you know. But the truth is, they're set. One thing I figure out that the ability to actually sell. And then one time I remember that a particular startup actually sold, actually won. And guess what they were selling? Their app was actually simply to help people with intolerance. So when you go to the supermarkets, they actually have like this database of couple of super with they have this partnership with supermarkets, and they have this database where they just plug in all the products. And then, because most of this product, when you use this scanning code, scanner hand scanner, you actually get to see what the products are actually. Well, that's like advanced technology in this area of the world. You get to see what do you have inside of the product. For instance, if there is palm oil, if they have sugar, if there are nuts, and so that people who are buying can make decision. So the app actually helps you. You take it to you download the app, put in your profile, list all your allergies, and then you go scan the barcode, and then it tells you, okay, this product contains nuts, you're not supposed to buy it. But the truth is, yes, they had a unique selling point, because their basic emphasis was just we're helping people with intolerance to make better decisions, to make better food decision. We're helping people, and that was all they kept hammering on. And yes, they won the pitch. The one actually, I think they won about 5,000 or 3,000 euros. But yeah, that's my take is, if you have a good product, it's wonderful when you have a good product. But you know, all the time you must have the ability, and you have to be passionate about what you do. And I figure out that a lot of people who actually have would start would who have social startup entrepreneurship, they started up with a passion and say, okay, this is the problem I want to solve. My passion was, initially, when I started, it was hard to find mentors who had like specific industry expertise. And then that was where I came in, and I said, you know what, I think we should find a way to actually break this gap by, rather than you buying this person or hiring this consultant, hire all consultant across all, you have specific people who could help you address your project and your each specific area of your product that you want to launch, or your startup. Like I said, you have to be passionate about what you do. You have to be create a dynamic relationship with your product. So they keep saying this is why we're doing this, for this X reason, to get X amount of result. And then you have to know the X and Y. You have to know the course, and you also have to know the result, what you want to get for people. So for us here at the Startup Mentorship, it's about clarity. I know a lot of people actually start up. Sometimes you get stuck. Sometimes you're not motivated. Sometimes you just think, you know what? I think I'm done. I don't want to go beyond this particular discovery, because you're burned out. But the truth is, you actually need to be passionate about what you do. If not, nobody's going to buy your product. You might be lucky enough you find one or two person, but in the long run, you have to be passionate. Another aspect of best way to close sales is um, evaluating your customers. There was a there was a I saw a quote this morning. He said, "You don't see meat sellers or products with people who sell meat advertising to vegetarians." And well, initially it sounded funny, like very funny, but the truth is there is actually an element of deep consciousness and deep truth one might overlook it and say, is it not just a quote? But the truth is, when you're doing market segmentation, and even when you're doing marketing in your marketing plan and in your business plan, you actually have X amount of people you're targeted and you're supposed to be selling to. So, for instance, you have a great baby formula product, and then you are selling to people who are old, or people who don't have children, or who are not interested in your product. Your likely market is mostly going to be like mothers who have children between 0 and 6 or above, yes, a little bit above that, who are trying to win their children away from breast milk. So you find that transition most of the times always a bit difficult, because women are trying to look for ways to win their children off, they're trying out solid food. And then this is where your solution comes in. So you're providing solution for this X amount of people, making sure that their baby continue to be healthy while the mother also remain healthy. But also you're providing alternative, solution for them. That's the target market. And I don't think, I'm not sure if the men are interested in knowing whether the children want to get weaned or breast milk on. But your target market is actually women who have children and trying to wean them off breast milk. So your formula is actually, yeah, to provide them, okay, this formula is like the best thing that's going to happen to your baby. It's going to provide your baby with calcium, strong bone, and make your baby healthy. Another aspect is, you have to also genuinely evaluate everyone. The gospel honest truth is, it's not everybody that's going to want to buy your product. Sorry to break your heart, but that's the truth. It's not everybody who likes fish. Not everybody likes meat. If you've been around vegetarians, they're very finicky about their product. So when you have a product and you're not sure of who you're specifically going to sell to, it's a problem. You need to know, okay, this is my problem, this is the solution I've found, and this is how I feel that this project can bridge the gap between your problem and the solution that I bring. Another aspect is accepting rejection. Does every customer want your product? No, they don't. Trust me, they don't. And 80% of the people you sell to are actually going to say no. Initially, they're going to say no. I'm sure that's what happened to Mark Zuckerberg. Like when he started, it was like, oh, I'm going to create, one place where everybody meets. I'm sure people are thinking, I don't understand it's not new. It's not news that the internet has revolved and all. But I'm sure initially people were wondering, how's he going to do it? Or people might be interested, but they just don't feel convinced enough to actually make a commitment into that into his company. But it's okay. It's okay if people don't believe in your product. They don't believe in what you're doing at the moment. The truth is, if you're persistent and consistent enough, you would get to see results. You will see that at the end of the day, you have tangible results. When you have tangible result and you break through, people are actually going to come to you rather than you chasing them. Then expecting resistance and ensuring that if you've ever had to struggle to look for work, you understand how rejection can be so dehumanizing. Like it could break your self-esteem when you actually have rejection. But the truth is, you need to learn how to bounce back. When somebody say no, you approach somebody, you say, okay, this is my idea, and this is what I feel, this is what I think. It's okay when they reject it. When they reject and you say no, some of them might not have the capacity to be able to support you. But if you feel that they have and they're not supporting you, don't take it personal. It's the part of journey of being an entrepreneur, of building resistance, and then knowing that yes, whatever rejection it is that you get, you're going to bounce back and then tell yourself that no, this is not the end. This is not the end. I'm going to pick up myself, pick up all this rejection, and then put it all behind me and then go forward. With that attitude, I'm sure you're able to get so much done than whining and saying, "Oh, I spoke to this person. This person did not give me a good response and all." Another aspect of closing sales and marketing is asking the right questions. I know when you market to people and then you go back and you say, "Oh, do you still want my product?" Try not to approach them from that perspective. You could say, "Oh, I've got 2 or 3 products left. Are you interested in taking one of them?" Or, "I am trying to sell out and a couple of people have actually made some orders. Would you like me to enlist you as part of the people who want this product?" Try to suggest to them that, okay, or would you be taking the medium or big, or would you be signing up a month subscription or a year, or any of those things. You need to ask those questions. Another aspect is when you're speaking to the right person. I remember when I was with my first consulting job, we used to have attendants who have attended our product, people who have attended our projects and our training programs. We used to have them recommended by either the manager or somebody who has been in contact with us. And then most of the time we do cold calling. We get to call the client and say, "Hey, you've done some couple of training with us before. Are you planning to sign up for a new one? So blah 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 blah." And then I figure out that most of the time you actually spend, like, the contact person. You spend a lot of time talking to the contact person, and after so much hope that they have built your hope so much, one day they will just come and say, "Can I talk to my manager about this?" And you're thinking, "Excuse me." So you're not the one even making the decision. When you're selling your product and talking to people about your product and what you do, it's important that you speak to the right person. Make sure that you're speaking to the decision manager. The decision manager or the decision maker. If you're not doing that, sometimes it's just waste of time. Apologies, but it's hard to swallow. I remember one time I was going to do a project with a real estate company in Switzerland, and then I put up all the quotation, told them did all the breakdown of the project, how we're going to go from starting to implementing, and making sure that we get like the perfect database, talk to locals, make sure that we promote the event and all. After going back and forth, sending invoice, then the contact person who actually contacted me now said, this is after about 3 weeks of going back and forth of editing invoice, sending work plan and all that. And he actually said, "I need to talk to my partner about this." I was thinking, why didn't you just bring your partner right from the beginning and save me from the stress of actually having to go through all of this work, all of this commitment, all of this making sure the presentation was right and all. But I found out that as an entrepreneur, there's some things are just part of the journey. The rejection is part of it. So if you're not talking to the right person who is making the right decision, sometimes it's better to just, would I say, not have the conversation. But never know, give it a shot. Have it a shot, give it a shot. Talk to the person. What was, I've wasted time, and you learn something from it and you bounce back. Then another key aspect, and the last aspect we're going to talk about, evaluating the value of your product and the value and the benefits of your product. So I know that I try to do a lot of low sugar stuff. Yeah, when you're getting older, you have to for me, your health consciousness needs to begin to get Me, it's just I don't know, maybe it's me or it's just natural. So recently and over the couple of years, I've tried to do like look for more substitutes to natural, no, not substitute, try to make options of eating more natural food and also less beverage, less sugar, alternative, you know, all of that. Yeah, I'm sounding like one very sometimes I still don't care. I still drink soda beverage. I still eat. I eat white bread. I eat all manner of things, but in moderation. So, for example, one time I saw a product and it was jam. I know I've been around too many old people. I know couple of people here where I live, the locals, where they make their own jam themselves because they always say, oh, that the sugar in jam is too much, and then they don't want to eat it because they feel that the sugar is not good for their health and all of that. Then I found this jar of jam in the store, and it was boldly written low sugar, like low sugar jam. You know, that was a selling point because to me it wasn't more about the jam, but there was a UPS. There was an emphasis on what they were saying, and it was low sugar. Like you could have all this fancy jam if you look at how much sugar it has in it. But you know, we bring sugar that is natural fruit. We don't add any sugar, or the sugar is very low. I don't know which is truth. Like we tell the truth, but nothing but the truth. Maybe it's like some other form of additives they add, but the truth is, after that, then I started reading about the product, and it started talking about their value, their value and benefit. So the product was actually created as a result of making sure that there is a reduction in obesity from the consumption of sugar, and then also for the sake of people who are diabetic, who actually still want to eat sugar, who wants to eat jam, but they're looking for alternative. And then this is where the low jam, you know, the low sugar jam came in. And the emphasis was actually on the value, on making sure that people who are health conscious stay healthy. Now I'm thinking, excuse me, just a bloody jam, but the truth is they're able to sell the value to you. So it's not just about the jam, but it's about the indirect health benefits that they get from making sure that okay, they don't eat too much sugar or eat too many, you know, nice things. You still want to enjoy, you know, you still want to enjoy the nice things of life. I still eat sugar even though I try to minimize it. But I mean, sugar is sweet. I mean, for crying out loud, it's sugar. Like so, in a summary, you have to be able to communicate the essence and then the value of what you're selling to your customers, not just to everybody, but to certain people. So the people who are actually going to buy this, everybody might not buy it. That's the gospel truth. But if you're able to capture a particular percentage of the market, my brother, my sister, you're good to go. Like your product to and communicate passionately why you've started, you know, this project or why you're selling this product is going to help you to sell more and to convince more people that yes, your product's the best thing that happened after sliced bread. I don't know. I think this sliced bread thing is like a universal phenomenon. Okay, so I'm going to do a recap, a summary. The first one is, so you have to be passionate about what you're selling, whether you're selling water or you're selling low sugar jam or selling bread, whatever it is you're selling, you have to make sure that you're able to communicate the value to them and you're passionate about it. Another thing is you need to evaluate your customers. Know who your customers are. Don't sell meat to vegetarians. Know who your customers are and don't sell things that people will not buy. Don't sell things that the people that will not buy it will not buy it. Like that sounds like don't sell things to people you know that at the end of the day they will not buy this. Another aspect is learning how to handle rejection. My brother, my sister, Rejection is part of it. It's part of life. You cannot say no to it, but you can bounce back and learn one or two things from rejection. Then I think the number four, I'm not sure how many I said, but number four is making sure that you're talking to the decision maker. Very important. Don't waste your time. And well, sometimes it's important. You know those local government secretaries or people who are like secretaries to big men. When you go and they tell you that no, you're not seeing my boss today, that's the end. I'm not talking about those kind of people. Those kind of people too, they play cute, so you have to be nice and make sure that you're being polite and you're maybe in the end, they might be able to convince their boss to buy your products, but in the end, know the overall chains of command and pyramid of decision making. And then most of the time, you have to start from the bottom of the pyramid, like from the last part, and then go up. If that's the case, you have to be diligent and make sure that you convince them, step by step, and at every stage. Then the last part is explaining the value and key benefits of your product. So rather than say, oh, I sell this, you have to say, okay, I provide clothing for extra big women or extra small women, or I provide hair products for Caucasian women, or certain types of hair like straight hair, curled hair. All those things, you have to be specific and show that this is the value you bring to your customers. I hope I've been able to convince you that selling is actually the bedrock of you making your profits and blowing in your business. Yes, up until next time, I remain yours faithfully, Labitom. I actually like the name Labitom. Actually, my full name is actually Labaketom, but I like the show. Like, I remain Labitom. Up until next time on Startup Mentorship Hub, keep hooked. Make sure you share this video if you found it productive. If you have any reaction, or you feel that you might have any other contribution or have another mindset or opinion, yeah, just write me under the comment, or you could write us an email. And then don't forget to follow us on social media. We're not spreading ourselves thing. We're just